Welcome back to Newsday. Now, some stakeholders in Bakana community in Degema local government area of River State have resolved to maintain peace in the area despite their differences. The resolution was made when the council chairman, Tony Philmore, conveyed a meeting to reconcile the aggrieved persons. Bakana community has, in a period of time, experienced a tough time following what the council chairman describes as chieftaincy tussle. PDP chieftain and chairman Degema local government Tony Philmore joins us now. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the program, Tony. Let's start, with gauging your thoughts regarding the failed meeting between the South-South leaders and the federal government.
Well, you know that one should say it's unfortunate because we least expected that, but it happened. We do not know why, and we also heard that some sort of apologies have been offered, but is it a kind of apology that's acceptable to the South people? Because things like this appears to be that they are being undermined and disrespected, and that's not what you should do to a people from where.
That was Tony Philmore, Chairman, Degema Local Government, River State. He will speak in on other issues we're talking about. Okay, we have word that he's back. Tony Philmore, you were talking about the failed meeting between the South-South leaders. So please continue.
Yes, I was.
So go ahead, continue, please.
Okay. Yeah, I think that it's rather unfortunate the way they were abandoned to their fate, because it's not what anybody has expected, because they were gathered for certain issues to be ironed out. And you know that it would have been a lot better if the presidency, the delegation from the presidency had had made it. But we also hear that for certain reasons they could not make it. And we also hear today that certain apologies have been offered. But we expect a stronger apology, knowing the importance of the issues why they gathered.
Indeed. Now, let's talk about news making the round this week, and that's about Ebonyi State Governor's defection to APC, Dave Umahi, and of course, River State Governor's response. How would you assess both leaders' claims on River State?
Well, you know that His Excellency, the Executive Governor, Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike, CO and DSSRS, POS of Africa, has done so much from the very beginning of the PDP since 1998 up until today. He has never defected and has never thought of defecting. He has been making the party stronger than till date. Now, Umahi is somebody who has so benefited from the party. He is least expected to, but anyways, let's give it to him. This is his last tenure, and maybe he's afraid of the things that may befall him after leaving office. Haven't been so nepotical in his appointments and his decision making, because you know, of course, it is despotism that brings about nepotism. And if he says that the executive governor of River State is a dictative, then he is even the despot himself. Let him come out to tell us that the governor of River State is more intelligent than him, than the way he's negatively portraying the governor. The people of River State are 100% behind Wike, and he knows so. The people of the entire South-South are also behind him, because they know that he goes out of his ways to do what is right and proper for the people.
Good to have you back on Newsday. And earlier we have Tony Philmore, our chairman, Degema Local Government, River State, talking about incidences in that region. Earlier, just before we left, we talked about a wide range of issues. Now, your stakeholders meeting with Bakana community over crisis in that area. What steps are you taking to resolve this? And what caused the crisis in the first place?
Okay, it has been a long legal battle. We saw some degree of light at some point, wherein the king is now late. He was later enthroned as king after a court ruling in favor of his agitations that lasted for nearly 30 years. But it was short-lived. He died sometime 2019 or so, and is still not buried. And even during his reign, there were like 4 council of chiefs, including his. And he was a gazetted king of the Bakana community. And these people continued with that. These days now, what they do, even when a man and his children are sleeping in the house, they just... And so letters came left, right, and center, and I decided to intervene, to mediate over this looming crisis. And so far, so good. By the grace of God, it's going on very well. In fact, there are groups who are now even saying that a case they instituted since 2007, they are going to withdraw the case. And this has never happened. And there are a lot of court rulings in favor of certain groups. And we have told them that there will be no government without law. And there is no way we will jettison the position of the court ruling. And so we are definitely going to do that. But there is a need for an integration of all chiefs and all persons in the community. And that is going on quite well. There are people who thrive when there are crises. Persons of that nature, 1 or 2 of them have also instituted 1 or 2 cases against me. Although some have to say they never did so because they were never consulted. They like what I'm doing, and they will go and withdraw themselves from the case. So I would say so far so good. We are 75% done, and I believe God that before the year runs out, we'll get done. However, let me say this strong thing. It will be the first time that there will be no such killings throughout the Yuletide period. If not for this intervention, a lot of killings must have gone on by now. And I thank His Excellency, the Governor, who has given me all the support necessary to embark on this mission that I truly do not like. But my nature is proactive nature. I hate reactionary steps because it's good to stop the stopper before the stopper stops you. And that's my principle. And that seems to be working.
Now, let me quickly bring you back to the Degema local government area. You're the chairman of the area, and I wanted to find out what role your administration has played, basically, in developing Degema as a local government area, and how you think peace will be restored to the area.
Okay, let me tell you this. I inherited a place wherein we have 9 major communities. Out of these 9 major communities, you can only find 2 or 3 of them as having kings. The rest of them were in courts. And so every now and then you find sea piracy, you find killings, kidnapping, and all that. So I immediately ran to the governor and I said to him, I need support here, that there is a need for us to take steps to stop them before these things get out of hand. So immediately I took over office. I started the peace processes, and 8 months or 9 months later, a particular community that has been in such a serious crisis, killings, and court cases, I was able to bring them together, and they chose for themselves a king. And today they are peaceful. A place that has never written WAEC for 21 years is now talking about writing WAEC. And I think that community is K community. Now, having said that, Tombia is one of our major communities too. They too have been having running battles and have been in a serious imbroglio over several years standing. And they too, they are very cooperative. They are also seeing that the light is around the corner. You know, it is not enough to go to court and have a ruling in your favor. The other side of it is, how do you execute it? That how do you execute it has been the major problem. Now, these chiefs who may have lost in court will now sponsor all kinds of boys from every quarters to bring about mayhem. And we said, no, this cannot go on. So we put together a three-pronged approach, wherein we said security must return, education must return, and areas that do not experience electricity must experience electricity. So we tackled security head-on through the support of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of the state. And he brought about Operation Sting. We immediately used that and domiciled it in our local government, and also ensured that we obtained necessary permission from the Commissioner of Police, and we also procured an extra Hilux and communication gazettes for the security team. And I tell you, this enhanced security in the place, not leaving out the Security Council. That is the military, the DSS, the police, the prisons, and all of that. They all came together and ensured that killing every day stopped. And we thank God, that of security, I can tell you something drastic has been done. I will say that we are 85% safe now. Now, I did not stop there. I went on to say to myself, education, that this little survey I did from among the youth, I discovered that they go into all kinds of crimes just so that they can eke out a living or be able to pay their school fees. So we told them, look, His Excellency pays free of charge secondary school education and also buys JAM forms. That means our work is lessened. Therefore, we will pick up your higher institution tuition fees, and that's what we are doing judiciously. And this has helped to stem out insecurity to some sort in our place. It's not this in the past recurrent way of maiming and killing and destruction. In fact, now I'm always the first person to hear when such plans are going on, and in fact, most of the times, boys even attack themselves to say, you cannot do this because we will always, we must report you. And that is really, really helping out. Now, I also talked about electricity. Now, it is the only thing that we are yet to fully achieve. Yes, my local government is a peculiar area wherein you have 15% of the local government area on land and 85% in the coastal area. And my local government ends at the border of the Atlantic Ocean. So oftentimes you hear sea piracy and all of that. But because of the security team, that has been stamped out. So if you must embark on a reasonable project, you must first reclaim land. And that we have successfully done. We have done the necessary platform to do an independent electrification project, not just going to buy electricity generating set to install, and at the end of the day, the people are not able to buy diesel or fuel, as the case may be. We are bringing in a novel electrification system that is going to supply light to two major communities, namely Bakana and Ogurama communities. And that we believe from this time till say maximum end of January, which will be successfully done, because by tomorrow or so we'll be having the supply of the remaining component parts of that project. And I've been told that within 1 month they will complete the project. So that means at that time I would say, yes, these three cardinal points of achievements that were rolled out during my campaigns, I've been able to achieve them. And of course, this piece that I'm making, I also believe that because chiefs and stakeholders are now moving forward to withdraw cases from the court. It then means there is light in the tunnel. So I believe very strongly that within this our remaining period, we'll be able to achieve these things. Now, my next question is, how will the local government then consolidate? Of course, that is beyond me, but I trust my governor.
Indeed, and you can only have development when security is assured. Now, I'd like us to delve into the issue of the socio-economic region of your area. Specifically, let's talk about Bonny and Okrika. They have both grown in significance with the exploitation of oil and natural gas in the Niger Delta. So how has this impacted on people's fortunes in that region?
You see, let me tell you one thing. These two local governments you mentioned, I am not the chairman there. But because I'm a Rivers man and I share border with the both local government areas, my local government share border with Okrika, shares border with Bonny. And so the gas that you hear are gathered from my local government, moved to Soku, and then moved to Bonny for export. But the thing is, people do not hear about my local government area. They do not support us the way we should. Everything is either Bonny or Okrika. I tell you, the resources coming from there, as God will have it, our governor is one governor who is not tampering with our location. We are using our 13% derivation very, very well. And it's when you come down, you will see that, in fact, all councils are doing very, very well. Let me cite my own as an example. Across the 17 wards, that is 17 constituencies, all of the constituencies are experiencing projects. In some of the areas, they have not started because they are still putting the logistics together. We went by way of constituency project. Now, that is the same thing in Okrika and in Bonny, because we are well guided and supervised by His Excellency, the Executive Governor, and his team. And this, for me, is a welcome development. And so I think that even subsequent governments, they should not just say, we are a local government, leave them to their fate. No. Also find out what their worries are. Where can you come in to advise them? Where can you come in to support them? And so Okrika is doing well, just as Bonny is doing well.
All right, then. Thank you very much for joining us on the program and for being very candid with us right here. Thank you so much. Tony Philmore there, chairman of the local government area of Degema in River State. Thank you very much.